I think we're recording.
Are we recording? Okay. Are we recording? 1, 2, 3. The red light's on.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
This is Alberto Grovas.
My name is Bivens. Welcome to Tortilla Lab. Tortilla Lab. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tortilla Lab, powered by MediaFrost. Well, today we're launching off our very first internet radio show that is with ALAC, Arizona Advocates Latino and Ultra. What is that? It is. I always get confused with the acronym.
Yeah, it's really.
ALAC.
Yeah, I just know it by ALAC.
Advocates for Latino Arts and Cultural Center,
There you go.
located at 147 East Adams. First of all, I want to introduce our panel with Tortilla Lab. Today we're visiting the Grand Central Coffee Company that is located
Pretty cool place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On Central Avenue in McKinley. If anybody's been downtown, it's a beautiful area. The Grand Central Coffee.
Grand Central Coffee, yeah.
But I'm gonna let Jeffrey Lazos-Ferns. He is. Let me give him a little segue here. Fantastic guy, and
Awesome.
he is one of the managers here, and he's gonna talk a little bit about his role. But I also want to introduce our executive producer, Mr. Alberto Grovas, and if you see the quality of production that he puts together for MediaFrost, you will really come to appreciate him. How you doing, Albert?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I mean, it's been. I got a fresh cut. You know.
Yeah, you got a haircut.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's kind of long, so.
The trasquilaron.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, let's let Mr. Jeffrey Lazos talk a little bit about the Grand Central Coffee Company.
I'll just give you a brief on
jump
where
right
we're
in
at.
there.
Okay, so the Grand Central Coffee Company, for short, you can call it the Grand, hashtag the Grand, PHX Phoenix. We just recently opened. I'm the creative director for Live on Central. The Grand Central Coffee Company is a component of that. So what I do is I create special events and programs and evenings, working with community and artists. I also work extensively in the downtown area in the arts. I've been in the arts about 25 years. So the umbrella of Live on Central and Grand Central Coffee, and in addition to being a space to come and gather and sit and meet and work and listen to, what's going on in the city, it's also a place for different faces of the community to share and come together, and basically a cultural bridge in downtown Central Phoenix. Beautiful space created by Stephen Rogers, who is the owner and creative around all of these venues that are next door to each other. So I'm glad you're here. I love MediaFrost, love what you guys do in the community. So let's talk a little bit about downtown Phoenix.
Hey, listen, I love the location here. I love that you have the rail right next to the patio.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's like being in San Francisco where you have the trolley and you're at a little cafe.
Right.
But instead of the trolley, we have the rail here.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I first met Jeffrey and he told me he was from San Francisco, no, he lived in San Francisco for a little bit. But one of my favorite plays in San Francisco, not to get off the topic, was Beach Blanket Babylon.
I know it very well, actually. I know some of the artists in it. The costumes are extraordinary. They've actually inspired. We build costumes for my consulting company and stuff, so I know what you're talking about.
You know what, Jeff? Anytime anybody talks about San Francisco, that's the first thing. All the plays that they have, and ironically, this place kind of reminds me of the very artsy that we see in San Francisco. So I can see the type of influence that you have on this place.
Well, Stephen Rogers would be very glad to hear that, because his inspiration is Grand Central Station in New York City meets Harry Potter. Meets a very urban environment. So, and as you can see, the aesthetic here is handcrafted. So, and it was interesting watching him work, because he really put things together as it started to develop out of his head. The architecture and the lighting and all of that. And he has a rich history of lighting and set design and stuff like that. So it's actually, when he creates a space, you want to be in it and you want to stay. And we wanted that urban space here in downtown Phoenix, where people can gather. And this is just a little piece of it. So you guys know what's behind all these other walls.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's had years of experience creating places where people want to hang out and gather, taking you away from that, space as you walk out the door.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is when me and Alberto were talking about, we want to go do our first show we want to take our audience into another world. And you were the first thing that we thought about in a good way, because we walk in here and you're absolutely right. It's like you're in another world.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, Harry Potter, big time.
Well, we've only been open like a couple of weeks, if that, and stuff. And it's interesting to see groups come in here, or people come in here, because normally, people come in to have a cup of coffee or a craft beer, and they're like there maybe 10 or 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. We have people that'll sit here, and then all of a sudden their group gets a little larger because they get on their phone and they bring other people in. So usually the average time here is between 1.5 to 2 hours where people are just chilling. So as we continue to grow downtown, and as the university opens again, we hope to be that gathering space for everybody in the community.
Cool.
What do you think about this place, Albert?
It's amazing. I really like the theme. The
architect.
The architect. The rusty metals and like the tables and everything it looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. Yeah, definitely a really good place to hang out.
I like the openness, the patio. I like how you have the split coffee bar where you can either be outside or you can be inside. But when you come in here, you really feel like you're at the Grand Central Station. You have the big historic clocks hanging with LA time, the time for Los Angeles, Phoenix. You've got the New York time and the Chicago time. So that wall is very rustic. It's red brick. I love how you have your menu written in chalk. So there's a lot of historic value, and you almost get lost in time here. But the amazing thing is that it's just so comfortable in here. And the smell of coffee when you come in here in the morning. We were out in the parking lot, and because you have such an kind of like an open atrium, you can literally smell the coffee from the parking lot when we were pulling in.
Oh yeah.
You can smell that aroma.
Amazing. Yeah.
Well, a couple of things coming up within the space is once the kitchen goes full storm, then you'll smell fresh baked products. And first Friday, we're starting our live entertainment. We'll have open mics on first Friday. Live music in the cafe. Maybe some aerialists hanging from the ceiling. The usual.
Somebody hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, right. You told me.
I think that's another channel.
Yeah, I know, right? So you told me you guys want to be open 24 hours. Right?
We will actually.
Wow.
We've slated to be open 24/7. And the reason for that and stuff is because downtown Phoenix has grown up a lot. I left in 1995. I'm a native Arizonan, and when I left Phoenix to move to San Francisco, the downtown was a different place. And then I only came back four or five times in that 17 years. When I did come back, I was like, wow. But even today, if you look at the 6 square block area where we're at, we have high-rise residential going up. So the density is really increasing here. Yeah. Also, ASU has brought in a lot of residents and traffic and stuff like that. So, having spaces like this for the community, that are locally owned, local businesses that employ, the dollar stays here is important too, and then providing spaces for all these diverse communities, literary arts, diverse voices and faces and stuff is also important. Because when you go to any urban area, lived in San Francisco years, I spent a lot of time in Chicago and New York and stuff. The mix of walking into a space like this, the building is a frame for what really happens inside the building, where people connect and and different voices come together, and people understand each other when you have bridges like this or spaces like this that create community.
And I think what's happening here in downtown Phoenix is like spreading into like Mesa or Chandler or Tempe. Tempe, I think Tempe started, to get like big on downtown. Yeah. And then now Mesa is getting all the little shops in downtown area.
Mesa actually is transforming a lot. There's a lot of artist live work places going in development. There's incubator spaces starting. So it is. You're right. You know what I mean? It's there's a trend.
I guess a culture. It's like a downtown culture.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk a little bit about the coffee industry and the love affair that everybody has with the coffee. and how we can't live without coffee. And we're going to let Jeffrey Lazos talk a little bit about that, but we'll be right back after this break. Welcome to Tortilla Lab, Tortilla Lab.
Hello, my name is Linda Marie Cabrera. Welcome to Happy Printers. I'm a Phoenix native and I've been in the printing business since 1972. If you have a business, we can help you with your printing needs. We have next day business cards as low as $25. We also print labels, proposals, flyers, rubber stamps, and more. We make custom invitations for all events like baby shower, quinceanera, wedding, but hopefully not in that order. Here at Happy Printers, we believe in supporting local businesses and encourage you to do the same.
All right, welcome back to Tortilla Lab, powered by MediaFrost. It is a beautiful Monday morning here, and we are at
Start getting hot.
the Grand Central Coffee Company that is managed by our friend Jeffrey Lazos-Ferns.
I'm actually just a creative.
Okay.
I have some coffee experience.
The creator,
So
yeah.
Definitely.
So let me just segue. We want to thank Lupita Villa. She's the president and CEO
Thank you,
of
Lupita.
ALAC, which is Advocates for Latino Arts and Cultural Center. It is our pleasure to be aired here and partnered up with ALAC. They do a beautiful job downtown Phoenix at 147 East Adams. They celebrate the arts and museum of our Hispanic culture. And so, in any case, thank you, Lupita, for making us a part of your team. We're excited. And we're going to talk more coffee today.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? We all have a love affair for coffee.
Definitely.
And there's nothing better than a good smell, aroma of the barista.
Oh, yeah.
A good, coffee is really dictates our life. A lot of us can't function without it in the morning.
Definitely.
And the coffee industry has become a $710 billion industry, which probably inspired me to do a story on coffee. And we're going to let Jeffrey Lazos talk about his experience in the bean industry.
Well, for many years in San Francisco, I was with a company called Pasqua Coffee that then got absorbed by Starbucks. So I transitioned their brand, which is in 3 major markets, into the Starbucks brand. And then started working internally in HR, and then what's called a culture keeper, opening new stores. But I have an extensive knowledge of coffee, going back to, I can tell the story of the first bean that was found by a goat herder in Ethiopia, to Ethiopian coffee ceremonies, to its move into Italy. So coffee's a rich experience, and we all have a coffee experience wherever, cultural. My personal coffee experience, I was raised in Chandler, Arizona by a mother, Ducky mother, who in the morning when she'd be making tortillas in the summer for us to go to work, she'd put on her Folgers and it'd be percolating.
Oh, I remember that.
So I'd be laying there smelling the tortillas on the comal
and the tin,
the coffee and stuff, and thinking, oh God, I gotta get up now. But then the Folger tins became planters, where she planted seeds and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So wherever we come from, all over the world, coffee's been an experience for the family, for the culture and stuff. And I think currently in contemporary, especially United States, there's an alchemy to coffee, because all of a sudden you hear cold brew, you hear hand poured, you hear espresso drinks, and just the single origin versus blends and stuff like that. So it's an intricate, almost like wine in terms of looking at coffee and stuff. And when you create spaces like this in terms of coffee culture and stuff, you start getting if you walk into any saturated market, you're going to be 10, 12 deep in the line, and the relationship the barista has with the customer is a personal one, like a bartender has with the other piece. One shot, double, light and stuff. So it is a phenomenon that, in the early 90s, people said, well, it's going to be a fad, that it hasn't. It's grown and it's become as it has all over the world and stuff. So what we look to do here is create that customer base, but also provide those cultural experiences. So, having Ethiopian coffee ceremonies, talking about coffee and its origin, talking about the different blends and the roasts in terms of the purist aspect of coffee.
Yeah.
So we'll move towards that in the future. But the Grand Central Coffee Company, the baristas are very well trained. As you see later, we'll have some mix some lattes for us.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna try the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
That'll be in the last segment.
In addition to providing a good environment and the ambience and stuff, the other piece is this piece.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it starts our day.
It
Oh,
does.
yeah, I can't
How
function
many
without
times have
coffee.
we been in line where we didn't get our coffee and the rest of our day went downhill?
Yeah.
And the aroma kills you. There's a
Yeah.
long line, and it's just the aroma just kills you. 'Cause
Yeah.
you gotta have that coffee.
Yeah, definitely. In the morning, like when you wake up. So what kind of coffee is the one that you really like and why?
For me personally, my favorite coffee is Sumatra, and it's a single origin, and the bean takes on the flavor of the soil wherever it's grown.
Mm-hmm.
So Sumatra is a lot of humidity, a lot of what do you call it? Not mold and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you get that very earthy taste in
Yeah.
a Sumatra coffee. I don't like the blend. Sumatra is probably my favorite. Followed by a Kona, again because it's Hawaii, so the bean absorbs the flavor of the origin.
The
of,
earth.
yeah. So those are my favorite.
Awesome.
It's amazing. About 20 years ago, I was touring a coffee plantation in Caguas, Puerto Rico, and it's amazing how that whole process takes place with the weather, the tree, the line, the down to the soil, and how that plays an important role. And how do you here at the Grand Central Coffee Company, Jeff, how do you go about selecting the right coffee for your customers?
Well, Stephen Rogers, the owner, and Marisa, as far as the manager of the facilities and the chef and stuff, they work directly with a private roaster here. So he's trained them. He's very selective. He comes in to test the machines and stuff. So they work with him, and Marisa and both Stephen have very advanced palates. They understand coffee and wine during those pieces. So they actually select what roast we're going to have here on site. And there's an espresso roast and there's a drip roast and stuff. So I leave it to the experts because it's been a while since I've been in coffee in terms of as a buyer. So they select the roast with the private roaster that's located in Tempe.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the trend here in downtown Phoenix, Albert. The fact that the coffee industry has become a $710 billion industry. I mean, it says a lot for for the people. It says the monies don't the numbers don't lie, and I just love what Jeff has done with his cafe here downtown. And right now it's summer here. It's hot, but what I love most about I can't wait till it cools down, Jeff, because your patios are huge here. I mean, literally, this is fertile grounds for people just to be magnetized because of the great patio. It's right next to the rail. You've got a patio that's overlooking the north, and so man, it's going to be once the season permits, this place is going to be hopping.
Well, we're gearing up for that already. I mean, today when we were here, I was booking luncheons and private spaces and groups, and I'm booking them into September already.
Yeah.
We just opened 2 weeks, but what we've been doing over the last year is developing a community. So I anticipate it'll be, and we have great wireless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we encourage group meetings and stuff like that. So I think you're right. I think once fall comes around and we're not in 110 plus degree heat, that it is going to be a gathering place.
I think it's important to tell our audience that you've got 8,800 square feet of space here. You've got an upstairs. You've got great lounges. Literally, you have couches. You have a home away from home environment where patrons can come in. They can go upstairs. It's like being in the living room of your home. Downstairs, you've got meeting rooms. You've got round tables to 6-foot tables. So you're doing a great job in catering to just about every market.
And that's what I really like about Stephen's aesthetic and his design skills is he really looks at the space. And then even most recently, he changed out chairs that were just brought in because he didn't feel they were comfortable enough to sit on for the customer.
Yeah.
So the amount of care and thought that he's placed into these spaces, as you noted, are for those reasons, to provide comfort and to encourage people to want to be here.
I think one of the things that I think we need to keep pushing into our new generations and just public in general is to shop locally. I think instead of going to one of those big chains, just come to this place. It's local. Everybody that works here lives here. So I think it's a really good idea, concept, and culture that we need to push through all our generations.
I agree, and I think with the young millennial and even the younger group now and stuff, they need to hear that message and stuff, because it's a huge investment for a local, business to invest in the community and stuff, and those are where we really get our return dollars into community, and those are the people that have the biggest heart for what's going on, as we know. And
then definitely, the different type of coffees that you're gonna have here, and like coffee culture that you can actually experiment in this place. It's really cool. And then because some of the young people, I'm not that old, but some of us, we don't even know like the different flavors on coffee. And then I think it's a really good place to learn that kind of stuff and to taste the flavor.
Well, and I'm excited by it too, because coffee I left a while back when I left San Francisco and joined the circus. That's a whole other story.
Wow.
But
we need to have another show.
Part of the baby circus.
But being back here in terms of helping them on the creative side and event planning for the coffee company reignites that coffee passion that I have. So you will see an Ethiopian coffee ceremony here. You will see us bring different regions of the world and how they celebrate coffee. The bean, the purity, all those things and stuff.
Awesome.
Because in addition to it being a beverage, we are our story. So we can tell those stories collectively in a space like this. I think it enriches the community and the individuals, those young people who haven't heard the stories. I'm 50 years old. I've heard them. But now I'm excited that I get to share them with people who haven't heard them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a break. And then after this, we're going to do some interesting drinks down with the baristas, which is pretty cool. So, all right. Stay tuned. Be back.
Welcome to Tortilla Lab. Tortilla Lab.
Hello, my name is Marcelino Quiñones. Many of you know me as an educator, an artist, or a community leader. But today, I'm here to talk to you about MediaFrost, changing the world of social media. MediaFrost is a production company that's prepared to address all of your social media needs. Because the truth is, the power of social media is real. Let's look at the numbers. As of November 2015, there were over 300 million Instagram fanatics, over 3.8 Twitter accounts, over 1 billion YouTube lovers, and more than 1.6 Facebook users. These sites represent a new and inexpensive avenue for you to get your business name, brand, and services out into the world. Once they know who you are, they'll walk through your doors. As my friend Jeremy says, the numbers don't lie, and these numbers are huge. MediaFrost will work with you to make your infomercial, commercial, or social media campaign videos. These videos can be shared time and time again, in the process saving you lots of money and driving up sales. So, if you're ready to grow your business, inspire new customers, and change the world of social media, connect with us at MediaFrost.
Hey, welcome back. We're with Tortilla Lab, powered by MediaFrost. Here with Mr. Jeff. We're gonna see how the art of a latte is made. Can you tell us a little bit about the process?
So Sarah, right now, the barista here at the Grand, she is just pulled a shot. So the quality of a latte is determined by these things: the grind, the roast, the pack, the water temperature, the purity of the water. What she's doing, she just pulled and packed, and right now she's pulling the espresso. As soon as she hits that button, the espresso will start coming out. And as you see when the espresso comes out, see that foam right there? That's called crema. And crema is the flavor of the bean, which is the oil of the bean.
Yes.
That right there is going to be a quality espresso because of the amount of foam. If you have a light, more runny liquid, that means you didn't pack or pull tight enough. But that right there, once she adds her hot steamed milk, and then does her little art on top, which she does latte art, will create and finalize the experience here at the Grand and stuff. So we took a lot of time and put a lot of resources into training the baristas, and a lot of them came with the previous experience.
You can smell it.
But you can see the care that she has in putting this drink together. So crema is very important. So if you're your favorite coffee plus, make sure you look at foam. Also the quality of the bean, the roast of the bean, the quality of the water, and the temperature. So it really does become an art in making a latte.
Wow.
And then of course I'm a purist, so I just drink it like that, but you can add your flavors to it and all the other things.
What is that steamy process? What is that doing?
So what she's doing right now is you hear that bubbling. So you just hold the nozzle to the top, and you create a flow of air, hot air, steam into the milk, which creates a froth. You want to get it to about 140 to 160 degrees, which is a perfect temperature, which creates a thick base that then gets poured into the coffee cup. So otherwise, if it's too hot, it's not going to froth. So it's kind of an art in steaming milk as well. And there she's packing. When she hit like that, she packed it so that those air bubbles would remove themselves from the top of the milk.
Wow.
And that would it'd stay thick in your cup. You finish a latte, and then the top of it has this thick foamy cream on it. And what she's doing right there is a high pour. A high pour is creating velocity where the milk goes in, shoots the espresso up, and then she can create her espresso art on top of that.
Man, that looks delicious. You know, I had a shot of espresso earlier, and I'm feeling the effect right now. I'm ready to jump out of the ceiling here.
Yeah, and I think you had it on top of a cup of coffee or something, and that's called a red eye. It's supposed to take the red eye away if you've had a difficult evening. Or
I think it took a lot more away than that. But man, Sarah just does a great job at putting the lattes, the espressos, the coffee. You guys got to come down and say hello to Sarah, who is the barista here. And I just want to thank you, Jeff, for having us here in your cafe. And we want to invite the entire public to come visit you at 710 North Central. And what can they expect to see when they come here?
A lot of smiling, happy faces, a beautiful environment, great drinks, nice spaces to hang out, and a lot of diversity in terms of faces. Good music also. But I want to thank MediaFrost for being here in Tortilla Lab also. So we look forward to what's next.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can't miss this place. It's on Central and McKinley. If you happen to be nearby, you will smell the aroma. The aroma will pull you into this building. And I can assure you that the moment you walk into this building, you will not be disappointed. Man, this place is just phenomenal.
Thank you. And you can find us on Facebook at Grand Central Coffee Company, or on Instagram also, Grand Central Coffee Company, to find the location. So hope to see you here soon.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. The Tortilla Lab, powered by MediaFrost. And just want to thank our entire audience, and Alberto Grovas, our executive producer. As always, he does all the magic, and without him, we just don't get what our audience needs to see.
Well, I think the audience needs to see what goes behind the scenes, because that is magic, and it's very technical. So thank you guys for being here.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful day and a great week. God bless. Bye-bye.
I think we're recording. Are we recording? Okay. Are we recording? 1, 2, 3. The red light's on.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3.
This is Alberto Grovas. My name is Bivens. Welcome to Tortilla Lab. Tortilla Lab.